Reminder, this is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardinis, to use this as an educational material. Good day everyone, I'm Ral Katipay. Today we talk about private and public digital self. We students are able to know what is the digital self, the difference between private and public digital self, to know their significance, and to be aware of things that we need to avoid and prevent. It helps us to understand who we are in the cyber world and to know the important the internet is. It is the aspect of the self that expressed to the others through the use of digital technology, especially the internet and social networking. It is the use to be interacting and communicate through online or social media. For example, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and many more. With the use of the technology, it is essential for individual survival and for communicate with other people. With this technology, it can improve not only very common areas of people's daily life, but it improves the areas of education, life, and product industries. With the use of devices, it can process and use for digital information such as using of mobile phones. Internet. Internet is a computer network which the users can send and receive all kinds of information by sharing your ideas, thoughts, and even your personal information when creating account through online and communities. Now it allows us to have or to share information, conversation, and to create a web content. With this website and application, it can enable us, the users, to create and to share content in social networking. You can share things about his or herself through the use of social media by posting pictures, videos, online messages, emails, and social media status that is to be defined of our digital self.
Today, we discuss all about the digital self. Digital self is the aspect of the self that is expressed or shared to others through the use of digital technology, especially the internet and social networking. And when we make continuous effort to reduce our use of smartphones and social media to improve our mental health, there are the characteristics of digital self. Digital self is oriented inward toward the world of thoughts and feelings because others cannot see or overt attributes. It is a narrative in the nature because others come to know the primary of biases. And
social media. What is the main purpose of social media? Billions of people around the world use social media to share information and make connections. On a personal level, social media allows you to communicate with friends and family, learn new things, develop your interests, and be entertained. Social media also refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share, and or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. So like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube accounts. So people can communicate with their friends and extended family using social media. Some people will use various social media applications to network and find career opportunities, connect with people across the globe with like-minded interests, and share their own thoughts, personal updates, and insights online. There are many forms of social media, including blogs, microblogs, social networking sites, photo sharing sites, instant messaging, video sharing sites, and podcast widgets, virtual worlds, and more.
Let's proceed to self-presentation. So what is self-presentation in digital self? Self-presentation refers to practices used to convey an impression of the self by controlling personal information to represent a preferred self-image. So there are 5 ways of how people present themselves. Number 1 is the self-promotion. Self-promotion is characterized by wanting to be perceived as a more capable, smart, and skilled person than others. So self-promotion is like you are conveying yourself that you are capable enough. You're like promoting yourself to other people that you are skillful. And the second self-presentation is the ingratiation. Ingratiation is when individuals do actions to gain other attention to be liked by others. So ingratiation is just like when you like grabbing someone's attention, just like having a filter, so some people think that you're beautiful, or you're you have beauty, or there are things that you're hiding. And ingratiation is the self presentation where we are like covering our true selves, or using other thing to cover ourselves, or to portray ourselves. The third is exemplification. It is a self-presentation strategy where individuals project themselves an image of integrity and moral worthiness. So this self-presentation is just like when you are showing to other people on how on different morals, like you're honest, you're like in basketball. So Michael Jordan was known as a valuable player. He's a good player and MVP. And the fourth is intimidation. It is presenting oneself as scary or intimidating. So this one is common, especially when you have a brother. So this will be the action of having a action that can that can make other people scared, or threatening other people. So that example, you have a brother that you want to do thing, so you should have any actions that make him threatened. And the last but not the least is the supplication. Supplication is an act of expressing oneself, but only sharing misfortunes or life misery to depict oneself as weak, needy, or dependent on others. Some use this purposely to gain sympathy from others. So that would be all for self-presentation.
The digital self is the persona you use when you online. Some people maintain one or more online identifiers that are distinct from their real world selves. Others have a single online self that more or less the same as the one they inhabit in the real world. For the past years, our technology has evolved, and along with its involvement are the people who also adapt to its development. Everybody has a social media account, each and everyone has different personality from our social media, and our personality in real life. This is what we called our digital self. When you engagement, it will show your influence on the public, like Instagram, Facebook, dating app, among and other social media platforms. Since some people buy followers to increase their status as being famous, it can affect your physical and emotional health, such as self-esteem, self-worth, and confidence, but it can also be a sign of worsening mental health.
Your digital self refers to the version of yourself that exists online, including your social media profiles, online activity, and other digital footprints. Your digital self can be divided into two categories: private and public digital self, and I'll be the one to discuss the private digital self. Your private digital self is the version of yourself that is only visible to people who you have granted an access to your online presence. This can include personal social media accounts, private messaging platforms, and other online communication channels. Your private digital self can include personal information, thoughts, and experiences that you may not want to share with the general public. It is important to be aware of both of your private and public digital self and to manage them carefully. Maintaining a positive digital reputation can be important in many aspects of life, from personal relationship to professional opportunities. By understanding the difference between your private and public digital self, you can make informed decisions about what information to share online and who to share with.
Good day everyone, I am here to discuss about private self. The private self refers to the individual internal experience, including thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that are not easily observable by others. It includes emotions, desires, values, and attitudes that are kept hidden from the public eye. Private self refers to the aspects of ourselves that we keep hidden from the others, including our deepest thoughts, emotions, and experience. The private self is crucial for mental health and well-being, allowing individuals to cope with stress, anxiety, and emotional pain. Having a private self creates a space for individuals to express themselves without fear of judgment or criticism. The private self is an integral part of an individual's identity and is a fundamental aspect of personal growth, self-awareness, and emotional resilience.
I'm gonna explain negative effect of public and private digital self. Public self-confession is associated with phenomena that involve precision on how other people view the self. For instance, public self-consciousness is associated with a greater concern of appearance as evidenced by wearing more makeup and show greater concern about building compared to low in public self-confessions. People high in public self-confessions are more likely to conform the group pressure. They are more accurate in their perception on how they perceive them, and they are more likely to experience associated as social emotions such as shyness and social anxiety. Compared to people on low in private self-consciousness, their attitude are more than predictive or their behavior, they are likely to conform their opinions or challenges, and they are more resistant in accurate suggestions about their own sensations. Private self conception is also associated with emotional experience because introspection often leads to self-criticism. Private self-conscious can have rise to the negative emotion. and addition in addition, direct towards private self aspects appears to intensify current emotion experience positive or negative. For example, kanang private self. So ang private self kay halos walay makabalo or mismo imong pamilya wala kabalo. So what if naay makabalo lain nga di nimo ganahan may pabalo pero nahibalaan ang nakalat, so imong ma-feel ana kay sakitan ana, and less likely maabot nag depression, anxiety. Public digital self sad kay raya nang sa social media kasi i-post ka sa social media niya, wala dire ka kabalo nga over na kaayo. So masakpan po na nila nga layo ra kayo ang imong public self sa imong tinod nga kinabuhi. So daghan nagma-bully or other nga kwan. So maabot gyud po na sa feelings, anxiety, and depression. How does digital self affect a person? It can affect our physical and emotional health, such as self-esteem, self-worth, and self-confidence. But it can also be a sign of worsening mental health. Experts find a digital self-harm is often a risk factor of depression. We need to aware digital self-care. When we make a conscious effort to reduce our use for smartphone and social media to improve our mental health, most of can admit we've spent too much on your phones and social media platforms. Negative effect of digital self can lead to feelings or anxiety and depression. For the adolescents navigating these feelings, digital self-harm offers a coping mechanism. These individuals create an alternate persona from which to target mean or hurtful comments toward themselves.